The second we go live, which is right now, I want to talk about how Chris casually has an eagle flying in the background.
It's that time of the year, boys.
All
So
right, here
it's
we
not even the
go.
important.
Welcome everybody to the first ever PBA All-Star Weekend. What do we think? PBA All-Star Weekend. It used to be the CP3 Challenge invitational thing. Now we got 3 events in 3 days, and the first event being today in the Skills Showdown. And I want to ask you guys before we get into that, what do we think of the new look of the All-Star Weekend? Instead of being the one-day CP3 event with some celebrities, now we have a little bit different view of our All-Star Weekend. What do we think of it?
I think it's pretty cool. I think it's just something different, something that hasn't really been seen. You kind of have a little bit of everything. You got the spare contest, you got the trick shot thing, kind of gives you the dunk contest and gives you the skills challenge type of vibe.
Mhm.
But also, like, I know like the NBA thing, they kind of have the team skills challenge or whatever it is, where they have like 3 guys doing the same thing, and that's kind of giving you the brand challenge.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. It's just something different. Gives, it's like a little bit of a break, but at the same time still gives the viewer something to enjoy. And I don't know. I think it's something that could grow for sure.
I mean, I think it's necessary. There's got to be an entertainment factor in there too, just a little break from the norm. Step ladders and all seriousness. It's fun to get some, we have some legends that are bowling. We got some celebrities that are bowling, just different looks at things. It's kind of like, people like watching like our YouTube content. They see us do challenges and stuff. Now the PBA is kind of using that to be like, hey, let's see how good these guys are doing not the average stuff that we typically do, like bowling on a tough pattern. Now we're shooting at weird spares and striking as much as we can and stuff. So I like it. I like it. I think it can be something bigger. And NASCAR is the new face of it too, which I am not a NASCAR fan personally. So I will miss seeing a Keven Hart bowl with us, but that's okay. I'll take NASCAR fans as well. I'll take them all. Well,
yeah, I think it's a little similar demographic, if I had to guess.
From bowling?
Yeah, for like NASCAR fans and
it's like the blue collar sports
and bowlers. Yeah, it's kind of both the blue collar type deal to where, I'm not sure how many Keven Hart fans out there are going to tune in just because he's bowling. Like, it's cool. I would say like we love it because we're bowlers and we love Keven Hart. But it's one of those, how many like diehard Keven Hart fans out there are going to tune in because he's doing something different, or how many diehard Kevin Durant fans tuned in because he bowled. Not sure too many, but at the same time, it's cool for us bowlers to see them in kind of our world.
Well, yeah, because it makes them look human. I mean, when LeBron was on, that dude's terrible bowling, and he might be the greatest athlete of all time, literally. Yeah. And he is awful at bowling. It's like makes us feel a little better. He did strike. That's right. Wasn't it like a wiggle 5-pin?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just like messengered the 5 off the wall.
Hugged at the head pin. Well, so the All-Star Weekend, it is 3 events, 3 different days, but today we are talking about the first event of the whole All-Star Weekend. That is going to be the Skills Showdown. And that is the strike challenge, the make a spare challenge, and the trick shot challenge. So it's kind of like the dunk contest, 3-point contest, skills challenge, like you said. So Packy and Darren, if you guys don't know, are a part of the weekend with the All-Star Challenge. And they did do this first day's challenge. So they're not going to chime in on who they think wins or loses because they know who wins or loses. But I do want to ask, having the new challenges like this, we've seen the Strike Derby before with the PBA League at the end of the year. So this is a little bit different look at it. Do you like this style better than what we did with the Strike Derby before? Because it's a little bit different format, Packy. You're the one that's doing the strikes for Team Brunswick.
Yeah, I'll be throwing the strikes for Team Brunswick in an hour and 10 minutes.
Yes, you will.
I like this format more. but I do think it's less exciting to watch.
Really, for the viewership?
Like as a bowler, I'd rather not just rapid fire shots off for
I
2
agree.
minutes straight. However, it's a little less exciting to watch, but it also like in turn, it's easier for the like you don't run into lane problems. You don't like whereas if we have 2 lanes and we're doing a rapid fire shot competition, then
Mhm.
like what if they're not feeding the pins fast enough? What if one lane breaks down for half a second? What if there's just too many things that can go wrong in my end of it? If there's not like 3 lanes and a bunch of guys who have done it on machines that already run all the time, it's like we just set up a pair of lanes in the middle of a barn and now we're bowling on them.
Yeah.
But
The
that being
actual
said, the
barn.
strike derby is way more fun to watch, where it's like rapid fire.
The time one, I agree for the viewership because like it's a little bit different look instead of you just throw a shot and strike and then take your time. So I get it. But at the end of the day, this is definitely for the viewership. So I'm curious to see how the fans like the new format of it, if they do appreciate that more or not, because this is more or less just for the entertainment factor of the whole All-Star weekend. So we have 3 companies that are bowling against each other in the skills showdown. It is Brunswick, and on Team Brunswick, we have Packy Hanrahan, who is our dog right here, Bill O'Neill and Tommy Jones, which Bill O'Neill's doing the spares challenge. Tommy's doing the trick shot challenge. Then on Team Storm, we have Kyle Troop doing the strikes. We have our own Darren Tang doing the spares challenge. That was a good one. And then we have Rash doing the old trick shot challenge. And then for Motive, we have EJ who strikes. Obviously, he's going to do the strikes. Tom Smallwood's doing the spares, and Sam Cooley's doing the trick shots. So the strike derby, it's Pack versus Troop versus EJ. Kyle and EJ on a pretty much heater all year. The left is struggling a little bit this year. Who we picking? Chris, we're the only ones that can really talk about it because they know. So we're just get to talk and they just get to talk about the experience a little bit without giving it away. Who you picking? You gotta don't go biased to Storm versus Brunswick. Just go who you think.
So I think Pat, correct me if I'm wrong. So it's everyone throws 5 shots.
Yeah,
and
so
then the lowest person gets eliminated.
Yes, so it's 5 shots for everybody. Lowest amount of total strikes gets cut, and then 5 more shots for the top 2 guys. Lowest guy cut.
Okay, yeah.
And count doesn't. It's not like when we do the roll-offs for the PBA League where like count matters. It is strictly the amount of strikes.
Yeah. All right,
you strike or you don't. That's that.
Yeah, it's kind of like a penalty shootout in
soccer,
what we want to call it. So, somebody got that dog. Baxter got that dog in him.
People are coming home, so I'm gonna mute myself whenever Baxter starts being excited to see them. But who you got winning the strike derby, Chris?
So we got, man, that is tough because like us personally, we don't know what they bowled on. We don't know anything. Like this is completely everyone's going
strictly off strikes.
Yeah, literally, and everyone's like we're all going in blind. Like there's no qualifying, there's nothing to base it off of. This is literally just, oh man. Give me Pack. I think
that's my pick too because I'm riding with our dog.
Less traffic over there, and I just think they don't get as a little sloppy. It's you're bowling in a barn. Like I'm sure
might
it's
be dusty, might not. Who knows?
Like I'm sure it's okay, but I'm sure
Wait,
it's not.
you're really bowling in a real barn? I didn't know.
No,
that.
it wasn't a real barn.
It's like as if it's like as if you.
It's not like an animal barn.
It's like as if you created like a bar and then called it a barn.
It's a building shaped like a barn.
Sounds awesome.
But it doesn't look like a barn from the outside.
Yeah, so it's like is it 2 lanes? Yeah, it's 2 lanes, right?
2 lanes.
So 2 lanes. So it's just a setup there. Yeah, I'm riding with Pack. I just think
go to the left.
Yep, I think the left gets one. And they're like, "Yo, we gave you guys one."
Dude, I hope not. Honestly, Pack, I hope you get whooped then if that's our only one of getting left.
Man, you guys can't complain. We gave you one. We gave you the strike derby. Like, stop complaining.
You gave him the strike derby. The lefties didn't get paid off of his strike derby.
Yes.
All right,
so they did. That'd be sick if they did.
I'm taking Pack as well because he's our dog. So we're just riding with friendship.
Riding with the dogs.
Riding with friendship. So the make a spare. Make that spare. Darren, you were a part of the make that spare. You told us a little bit that they told you the spares you were shooting beforehand, but you
So we got an email. It told us so the first one was the bucket. So we all know what the bucket is, right? Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
The second one was the rail. Had no idea which one. Or it wasn't, I think it was the picket fence. They called it the picket fence.
Was it the left one or the right one?
It ended up being the left one.
Okay.
The third one was the baby split.
Which is
naturally it's either the 310 or the 2.7 for lefties.
One would think.
Ended up being the 4.5. Then we had the washout. Pretty straightforward. We all know what the washout is.
Is it the super washout with the 6-pin or just the washout?
No. Well, Bill was shooting the spare, so I don't think they wanted the 6-pin there because I feel like he would have been a little scared there. But
not the old Bill.
Not the old Bill.
Not the old Bill.
The last one was the 5.7.
The 5.7.
So apparently these are all the same spares that they had in a previous Make That Spare challenge in like the 70s.
What?
Really?
That's what I was told.
I've never seen that show before.
No, none of us were alive yet, so
that makes a lot more sense why the baby split was considered the 4.5 because they actually left it back.
Because they left it pocket 4.5s all the time.
Actually, that was probably way more common than 310.
Yeah, so you got really good at picking the 310s, and then you showed up and they were like, "Why are you shooting a 3.610?"
I was locking in. I was shooting those 310s in practice, and then Josh Blanchard, he was helping out with the event. He goes, hey, "Why are you shooting the 310?" Yeah, the baby split, man. It's like it's the 4.5.
That's so funny.
And then I tell Bill and I tell Smalls, and they're warming up, picking up 310s too, because we all thought it was going to be the 310. Because that's a baby split nowadays.
You should have not told them, and then you would have the competitive edge when they had to start throwing it straight at the 2-pin.
All of a sudden, they just set it up for you. Damn.
So as a spare shooter, what would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 as a spare shooter? 10 being like the best spare shooter on earth.
God, if before this year, I'd say like a 9.6.
Okay.
Now
this
maybe
year?
like a 9.1. But I've been shooting way more multi-pin spares, so maybe that's.
So maybe you're really good. Maybe you've gotten better. So you go up against.
I'm missing a bunch of them.
So you go up against Bill O'Neill and Tom Smallwood. Is Tom? I truly don't know because I bowled next to Tom Smallwood in the pro-am at the last tour stop, and I joked about how he had a couple of 9-count like no tap strikes, and he was like, "Those would have been all misses." So he was saying he's shooting spares awful this year. Is he typically a good spare shooter? I would imagine so.
Typically, really good.
Really? I don't know. I never bowl close to him to know that.
Yeah,
I just assume everyone is.
Yeah, I feel like I'm around him a lot, and he typically makes a lot of spares.
Everything?
But I feel like he's one of the ones where like he makes like a bunch of washouts and a bunch of multi-pin spares and like a bunch of like harder spares, but like maybe we'll miss more single pins than most professional bowlers.
Really?
I wouldn't say like not like a lot, but like for how many other spares that I feel like he makes, it's like dude, you make so many like 3.610s and like washouts and like all this other stuff, but then it's like he's just like maybe slightly less than average shooting single pins. It's still not like he's missing them all the time, but it's like I feel like I see him miss those more than like washouts, it's weird.
So Bill versus, why do you think that is?
No, why do you think he misses?
Maybe it's the mindset. Maybe he gets like a little too lazy because it's like, oh, it's just a single pin. I don't have to like really try to make a 2-pin.
I'll make this even if I close my eyes.
That, or I mean,
lazy?
I feel like we also just shoot way more of them, so the chances of us seeing being missed more is more common. The percentage wise is probably still really good. It's
because you're shooting
yourselves. I feel like I'm shooting the same amount of multi-pins this year.
It's like when the guy leaves 3 washouts and makes them all, you're like, damn, he makes every washout that I see. And then he leaves 50 10-pins and you see him miss 2. You're like, the guy misses 2 10-pins.
He misses them all the time.
Yeah. So, I think it's just one of those things, it feels like he misses way more than he actually does.
So Bill O'Neill is obviously a good spare shooter. You said what?
How would you rank yourselves as spare shooters?
It depends on the day. Sometimes I'm real good and I'm dialed, and sometimes I am the worst. I'm so all or nothing.
Overall, though, what would you rate yourself? Like a?
Can we do like a single pin spare shooter versus multi pin?
I'm pretty much the same.
Spare shooter. Tell me, I'm wrong.
I like I said, I'm all or nothing. There's the events where I'm striking, I miss so many of them, and then the spares when I'm not striking, I'm dialed in because I'm picking up more of them. So I'm literally, I either shoot 98% or 82%. I don't know.
Sounds like a reps kind of guy. He just needs the reps in. Doesn't matter what it is, just needs the reps.
I don't games of warm up. I'm just all or nothing. Like in Wichita, I couldn't pick a single pin whenever I got into match play, and then I got into match play and I couldn't miss them, but I was leaving more. It just didn't make sense. I'd say I'm like a 9 out of 10 spare shooter. Like I'm still a good spare shooter, but sometimes I go on sprees where I'll miss like 3 in a block, and I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I feel like I've been super up and down this year. Like I've had a couple of tournaments where I haven't missed anything, and then I feel like I've had a couple of tournaments where I can't make anything. And I feel like it's kind of balanced out to where it's like an average spare shooting year for me, which is still, I think, pretty good. But yeah, I've had some where I'm just like, there's zero chance I'm ever going to miss this. I might never miss a 10 pin for the rest of my life. And then I'll get up and shoot a spare, and I'll be like, please, for the love of God, get within like 5 boards. Like, get within 5 boards.
Close.
Like, yeah, just be close.
Go in that direction.
Maybe I'll get lucky and it'll fall over. But
we should have the chat play along too. You guys should rate yourselves. Just throw down some numbers.
Yeah,
rate yourself.
Rate yourself.
I just feel like it depends on what your standard is. You know, I always give myself to miss a couple spares like in a tour event because it's just going to happen. You get lazy, whatever. So I'm curious.
Glenn, appreciate the dono here. Happy Friday, y'all.
Happy
Pleasure
Friday.
meeting Chris, Darren, and Packy at USA Trials. Chris actually saw me in a Bold DMC sweatshirt. How about that?
Yeah.
You do for bowling, and best wishes to you.
We appreciate that.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Glenn.
I was not at Team Trials. You guys do all the cool Team USA stuff.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah. What do you rate yourself, Pack, as a spare shooter? You say you're a bucket getter. So if you did the spare challenge, you would never miss the bucket.
Yeah, I'd probably hook at it though. So
you would hook at it because they're easy.
Yeah, if I get enough shots to warm up, I'll probably hook at it. But
I think never mind. Nope, no spoilers.
Did they say if they were going to change it if a lefty was shooting? I mean, I know a lefty.
Yes, they would have. They would have, but they didn't put.
Like the bucket.
Yeah, like they wouldn't have made me shoot the 1, 2, 4, 7 rail.
It would have been funny if you had to shoot the 5-7.
That would have been so much harder if you had to shoot the rail that way.
And the 5-7 instead of the 5-10. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Obviously,
that would be brutal. I know. I'd say I'd rate myself pretty high for a spare shooter. I've missed a few this year, but 100% filled frames in the PBA league. So
let's go.
I love that for you.
So I'd rate myself 100.
Wow, that's ambitious.
Out of 10. No, I'd say I'm similar to Darren. I'd say I'm like a 9.5, but this year I'm probably still like a 9.5, just pretty average. Like I've missed more 2-4-7s this year than I usually do, but I've made more splits. So it's all kind of evening out.
See, that's how I am too. Like I'll miss 3 single pins and then I'll pick up 3 7s. So what does that leave me at? Good or bad? I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Who's giving us this angry face on Facebook? Jose Torres.
Wow.
Beep, beep.
You can see it? Oh, you can.
Yeah, I didn't know that you could see it, but I love that.
You can see it. What a jerk.
That's great.
Okay. Maybe that's his tough face. Like he's trying to get pumped up. You know what I mean?
I hope so.
Right.
If you are, please drop it down so we don't put that hate on you.
Yeah. All right. So who's our pick? Pack, you didn't watch, did you? The spares challenge. Did you watch?
Yeah, we were all on the set every time.
Okay, so you don't get to pick again. Chris, who's your pick for the spares challenge?
Goodness. Man.
I will say TJ was trying to play them head games.
Yeah,
I love that, and I fully expect that.
I loved it.
Played the head games the whole time. I loved it.
It was
really.
That's natural TJ right there.
What was he saying? Yeah, after your guess, I want to know how he was playing mind games.
I don't know how to talk about it without giving spoilers.
Okay, don't.
Just gonna have to
say a
watch
word.
at 6 p.m. Eastern.
I don't
So
know
give
if
me-
they're gonna have him saying what he was saying though.
Yeah, give me.
Oh, was
Smallwood.
everyone mic'd up? Smallwood?
Yep.
See, I would say Bill because I just know Bill's like a shot maker.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that was-
and I know that Darren has struggled a little bit this year in spares. I crossed with you at an event where you weren't shooting spares that well, so I just got to go with. I know that he's always good.
Well, I got to tell
So-
you, I've only missed 2 single pins this entire year.
Okay, that's good. But you're not shooting that. You're shooting the 4, 5,
Yeah,
5.
yeah,
7,
yeah, the
There
multi,
wasn't
the
a
multi,
single
yeah, that
pin
one
on
block, I
this
think I missed like
letting you know.
6.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with Bill. Not because I would ride with my dog, but I'm doing it because of, the numbers and stuff I know. Sorry, maybe that'll motivate you in an hour to be the best out there and win it. Because you go and take in 1 hour. You should get to the bowling alley.
yeah. Yeah.
We really
Maybe
should
if you
I'm admitting.
use your mushroom and power up, you will definitely win. Can't hear a word you just said.
Yeah.
I said I'm going to practice as soon as this is over.
Oh, nice.
Not
Ooh,
because
does
you
that-
said that. I was already planning that.
Oh, okay. And not because you did good or bad in the spare challenge, in the make that spare challenge.
It has nothing to do with that. That was all for fun.
Pack, who would you pick, even though you know who won? Who would you pick?
I would pick Bill.
You would pick. See, that's just what I think.
Like
too,
my
'cause
my
he's-
pregame pick was Bill because he's just been on a heater. He's already a good spare shooter.
And he's on
Yeah.
your team.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Hmm.
two that he shot against me, he made pretty convincingly. So, in the 4 games that we bowled against each other, the 2 spares that he shot were pretty good. So, he
But
is on quite a bit of a heater.
But also on TV, he's
shot
gone
3.
5-1, 5-1, and he left the 210 like 4 times and missed all of them. So that might come into play.
That is true. That's why I picked Smallwood.
Well, I'm picking myself because you gotta bet on yourself.
You got to bet on
I think
yourself.
myself.
I believe.
Screw
I
you
believe it.
guys.
That's fine. All right. Well, the last challenge is hopefully the most exciting, honestly, because we haven't seen the skills challenge in a long time, or the trick shot challenge. But I remember talking with the Fox crew how they said it's hard to film. How did they go about filming the trick shot this year? Will that give it away if I ask you guys how they did that?
I think it was a little messy. I think
Was
that's the
it?
best word to put it.
Yeah, no, I would agree. But the format of the trick shot competition was that you had 5 minutes
To complete one?
to
As many
complete
as you
one,
can.
to complete one or as many as you wanted.
Oh, I like that.
So you could go like with a couple safer ones, or you could try and go and hit the home run ball with one big one, or you could do a mixture of both. And then they just let the judges kind of rock and roll after that.
It was essentially
It wasn't like in years past, it's been like almost like a horse competition. Like, hey, I'll show you my trick shot. Now you try and match it. It wasn't like that at all. It was, hey, this is my trick shot. What did you rate? Like the dunk contest is.
I like that. I think that's
Here's
the
my,
only
here's
way
my
to do
trick
it.
shot. Now you guys go and give your best and see what happens.
I think that's the only way to do it, because they used to do it in the past where they would just film until they got it, and then the other guy got an attempt at it, right? Is that how they used to do it?
Yeah.
They did like the big bracket, like skill shot, trick shot challenge thing.
It was like
Yeah.
3 strikes and you're out. I've seen it before as well.
Yeah.
That was entertaining. I enjoyed watching that back in the day.
Yeah, but like for the filming purposes, they said it was really hard to do because like it would take forever.
And I think that's why they put a 5-minute clock on
I
it.
think that's the
So
only way to do it.
it would stay exciting. So like, hey, they don't have to keep a crowd entertained for 2 hours while guys are just missing shot after shot after shot after shot.
Right.
It's like, hey, you got 5 minutes and guys are choosing some maybe not as wild trick shots or maybe just as wild trick shots, but they know
Well, 5
like
minutes is a lot
there
of time.
is it is a lot of time until you miss for like 2 minutes and then you're like, ooh,
And you have to set it up.
I only need one to strike, but I still need them to keep setting up, whether it's a big 4, a 7-10, or like a special obstacle in the way, whatever it might be. I mean, the PBA has posted like Sean Rash throwing it in between the chair on their Facebook page now so many times. Like, what if he keeps hitting the chair for 4 straight minutes? Does he try something else?
Breaks the chair.
You have no idea.
And even then, it's like, you throw one, it's like then you got to get it set back up, and then you got to get ready and attempt again. So really, how many opportunities do you actually get at it? Maybe 3 or 4 in a couple minutes. I mean, because it's not like it's the quickest thing to set up. So it's you got to kind of know how much you want to.
And the setup takes into play, right? Like you set up what was it, that shot that Belmo did on Dude Perfect with all the pins stacked on top of each other?
Yeah.
If you missed that on the first try, how long does it take you to set that up?
You don't set it up. It's one and done on that. Like
you one and done, right? And if you can't set it up again, because it would take you a minute at least to set it up.
But there were 2 lanes, so he could, let's say one bowler.
If
you wanted to do that, you could set him up.
But
if you throw a shot on the right lane, does it vibrate the left lane enough where the pins drop on the left lane as well?
That is a good question.
Surely not, right?
I would think so.
Well, maybe when they set it up like that, like the new lanes and like a new setting,
and you're launching it over the top, and it's just kind of like on concrete, you might.
So
those things you just don't know.
So it's Tommy Jones versus Sean Rash versus Sam Cooley. Tommy Jones told us a cool story last week when we were talking about it a little bit, and he talked about how he did a trick shot with Barnes on a late night show forever ago. But the install of the lanes, they didn't put anything under the bed of the lanes, and they were throwing shots over chairs and stuff, and they put a hole in the lane, and they didn't fix it when they went live on TV, so they had to go around the hole on the lane. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like a trick shot in itself. It's like you just throw a normal strike. They're like, cool. It's like there's a hole right there. I gotta throw around a hole real quick. It's a bunker in bowling.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, but when you look at the guys that are doing the trick shots, you have to have some strategy in there, because it's like, okay, what can I do that someone can't? Like one of the famous shots is Osku throwing it 1,000 feet down the lane over a chair. Like how many guys can do that? The flying eagle is probably the most famous bowling trick shot, I would say, for sure, is the flying eagle. So I got to imagine someone's going to try that. And if someone tries that, whoever goes first, the other person isn't going to try that unless they didn't pick it up, and then you try it. But there's some strategy involved there.
Well, that's
the other ones.
Well, that's another one. That's taking 2 lanes into play, and that's one.
You have to have them fixed in the back and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's I wouldn't say a long setup, but it's it has to be kind of precise to where that front pin is for it to be a little more feasible to actually make. So I feel like that one's maybe you try it twice.
Yeah. Have you guys tried the flying eagle before?
I shot a YouTube video where I tried a bunch of the PBA trick shots, and I was too scared to put a chair on the lane. But I did try the flying eagle, and first off, impossible to make on a sport shot. Good luck.
Oh, well, yeah.
I was bowling when I was bowling when the pattern was 1.5 to 1. I don't know what I was thinking.
I'm good, but I'm not that good.
Yeah, it's my ball reaction stinks right now, and I'm trying to make this. Good luck to me. But yeah, it's hard to make. The setup does have to be right. I phone called in Chris Barnes because he's the one that made it on TV that we've all seen. So he knows the right setup. Mm-hmm. And once you set it up the right way, it's not too hard.
I was going to say it's not that hard once you know where to put that front pin.
Once you know where to put it. However, like Darren said, I mean, we weren't bowling on the fine china.
Mm-hmm.
So if some guy does try and do it, I'll be curious to see if he can, if any of them can make it.
Yeah.
It's just wild to me how easy they were in practice.
Is that house shot?
They just run them again. It's the LBC pattern.
It was the LBC pattern. They were I'm telling you, I want you guys to all watch the show, but nobody could even guys were striking without looking. Balls were going to 2 and balls were sitting at 10. And then we bowled, and it was oh, you got to be a good bowler now if you want to strike.
If you threw it right of 6, good luck.
Wash out.
Really?
And then they got tough. And then you go and try to do the trick shots on it, and it's ooh, you're trying to do trick shots, and they're kind of difficult. And the lanes are pretty different because they just kind of set them up in the middle of nowhere. So one lane hooks, one lane doesn't. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, because everyone's
the topography was bad too.
Oh well, yeah, new lane install, right? Did they re-oil?
Yeah.
Did they re-oil in between every?
Not between every event, but they re-oiled between. We practiced for open practice for 2 hours or whatever, and then 20 minutes before the show they re-oiled, and we did like a practice session then.
In the open practice, were guys like trying their trick shots, or no, because they were not trying to show what they were trying to do?
A little both.
Really?
Yeah, some guys were trying some, but not the full arsenal of trick shots that they brought.
Yeah, because they don't want to give away what they're trying to do.
I think some of it was like, hey, let me see if I can do this.
Yeah. Like I thought about it. Let's see if I can.
And if I can do this one skill, then I'll be able to do the trick shot.
Right.
Some of the game plans definitely changed based on the practice session.
Oh, right. I can imagine.
Either a little more
if the lanes
challenging,
are
or the lanes are crowned, or hey, it's a bowl, so we could try this trick shot, or whatever it might be.
Do you think for all the events, do you think order matters?
Yes.
Would you rather go first, get it out the way, and set the tone, or know what you need?
In the trick shot event, I would like to go last.
Last?
In
So
the
you know,
other-
like you don't have to hit a home run.
You can be
In
safe.
the other 2 events, I'd probably like to go second.
Second.
I don't know about Darren's opinion. I'd like to go second, so I
because you know
watch
if
the
you
guy in front of me, and I'm also not sitting there waiting like, oh, both of them struck 5 times. I need 5 strikes.
right.
What would you
Yeah,
say?
I think order matters.
I don't know if I have a preference, honestly.
In the trick shot competition, would you have one?
You have to, right?
Gosh. I don't know. I just know that I shot spares. I don't know if I should say when I went, but I will tell you, we didn't really get a whole lot of practice. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. See, when they're easier, though, you have to throw, like, they should have made a rule you have to throw it at them a certain way. Or does that take away from, like, the artist painting the picture of how you pick up these funny spares?
Yeah, I think that takes away some of it, but I don't know. I feel like I understand trying to go last in the trick shot thing, because it's like, oh well, these guys both kind of blew it.
Yeah, I just need to make one trick shot.
But at the same time,
do something simple, yeah.
Yeah, but
But it depends on the judges, though.
But yeah, do they judge before you go next? Like if you bowl, Darren, do they judge your score and then next is me and next?
Yeah.
Yeah, see that matters too. Like how do they judge that?
Yeah, because
Just
then
all opinion.
I would think we kind of were talking off air about like the dunk contest. It's like it's gotten almost to a point where it's like kind of reached the human limits of dunking. Like you can still get creative a little bit, but it's like how much more can a human actually do? And it's like kind of the same limitation to bowling. It's like yeah, there's a bunch of different trick shots with splits and like all that stuff, but it's like there are like the typical like 2 balls in one hand to make the big 4, or like, you know, you're doing a ball in each hand to make the 7-10 or whatever it is, where it's like there's still kind of like the traditional trick shots, I guess. And it's like if one of those like you're really good at, you know, you're gonna make it, and the guy in front of you goes and does it and makes it, it's like, okay, well, do I do it now and like try to just do it better? Yeah. Or do I try a different trick shot now? So I feel like it's a fine line between the trick shot one. If you want to go first, I feel like if you're really, really good at one, I think you would want to go first, because you would just go do it, like, and you can do as many as you want in 5 minutes. So it's like you're guaranteed to do one. Now you have, you know, obviously if you execute, you have 4.5 minutes to do, you know, try to do another trick shot, something like that. So I feel like if you're very confident in doing one, I think you would want to go first.
Question for you guys. Go ahead, Keven, because I think you're going to answer.
Well, first off, thanks for the donation. This kid was a giant, and when we took a photo, I made him squat all the way down so I didn't look like a little baby boy. But it was nice meeting you. Appreciate you. Thanks for all the luck you're sending us for the tour trials, whatnot. I was going to say, I don't like the idea of someone doing the same trick shot and trying to do it better, because it takes away from the offense, like from being original and like making your own trick shot, or like, you know, using your brain to think of something. If you do the flying eagle, but you do it in your third try, and I'm like, well, if I get a first try, I'm going to get a better score. I feel like I wouldn't judge it like that. If you did the flying eagle as well, I would dock you some points for that.
Yeah. So it depends on the judges. You just don't know how they're going to grade you.
Like, I want to do something no one's doing, you know.
If you feel like the first couple of guys bricked, and you know they got whatever scores they got, and you feel like you could just make your one trick shot, there's no guarantee that the judges are going to give you a better score just because you finished the one trick shot.
I don't want to spoil it. Well, I'm not even going to spoil it, but I wanted something crazier to happen. Like I wanted someone to do something.
I did a thumbs down. I wasn't even doing my thumbs down. It's crazy.
I feel like we do this every time. Give it to me.
Oh, Chris got him.
You wanted something crazier to happen because people were
so I would have rather seen all three. I wouldn't have rather seen. I'll say I would. What I was going to ask you guys is, would you, if you were doing it, and this is what I would like to see, is if you were doing it, would you go one trick that's crazy and either you get it or you don't, or would you do like a couple safe tricks and then go for the home run ball with 2 minutes left?
I'm doing the hardest thing that is done, and if I don't get it, at least I tried, because I want to have like the coolest trick shot ever done. Instead of like picking up a split, saying like I'm gonna pick up this or something, you know, I'm going for the home run. I don't even know what that would be, but I'm trying it.
I had the coolest idea when I was there, and I wasn't a trick shot guy, and it wouldn't have been possible.
Oh, you should have told Tommy to do it. He had his own mindset though.
No, I'll tell you right now what it was. There was a car on the side of the set, and I was like, you guys should do it dunk contest style, drive the car onto the lanes, and someone throw it over the car.
Or under the car too.
It was a Corolla. You would have smashed the bumper.
I think the ball's
through the
window.
window.
Is that low?
Low enough for a bowling ball is kind of high off the ground for a car like that.
Through the window is insane. Through the window. That would have been next. That would have been awesome.
Nolan said like, oh, we can get a golf.
Blake Griffin comes out of the crowd and throws a ball over.
Nolan was like, oh, we could get a golf cart. And I was like, if you could throw it through the middle of a golf cart, that would be sick.
That would be
cool. Bowling.
However, I don't know if the lanes like could hold a golf cart. They definitely couldn't hold a car. I'll tell you that right now.
Could they not?
That would have been pretty funny that you drive the car.
Probably not those ones.
The entire set just collapses.
Yeah,
and that's All-Star Weekend. Thank you for watching. We'll see you. We'll probably see you next time because we can't come back.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going home run hitter. What are you going, Chris and Darren? What are you doing?
I'm driving the car onto the approach, jumping over the car, and then throwing my shot.
With the ball in hand?
Yep.
Or you're just jumping over the car, then picking up your ball and throwing a shot?
No, I'm jumping over the car with my ball.
With your ball.
And then throwing a shot.
That's pretty dang high.
Shot put style?
Yeah.
I'm going to get up there.
As I'm jumping over the car, I'm throwing the ball.
Like
Darren, you wanted to be
kind of deal.
Darren, you wanted to be the trick shot guy because you said you had a deep bag of trick shots, didn't you?
I kind of thought I was. So I think, hear me out. I get up there, set up like my normal approach. I throw a regular shot, and I strike, and I post my shot because I felt like that was a trick shot in itself.
I would give you
because they were so slick.
I will give you 0 points.
The approaches were literally dusty. I don't think you guys understand.
Awful.
Oh, really?
It blows my mind how you know how you just check your slide before you get up on the approach?
Yeah.
They felt perfectly fine. And then you get up there and throw your shot, and it's like, oh! Bye!
Eric
could have just played into that and slid all the way to the pins, just in post mode, sliding to the pins.
Eric also wet mopped the approaches beforehand, so there was no reason. It's just the fact that we were in this like wide open building.
Yeah.
I just don't get why they were okay by the ball return.
Yeah, but
Chris, are we going one-handed or two-handed with the shot put over the car bowling ball trick shot?
It's a tough one. It's a tough
Overhead.
one. I feel like there's different. We got to do different levels. I mean, there's a one-handed shot put version, or you get
the soccer throw.
Yeah, exactly. You do a little bit more athletic flip. You know, the soccer flip throw. You do that, but over top of the car.
Good God.
I think we're a little delusional here on our trick shot abilities now.
It sounds like someone doesn't want to bowl the rest of the
gym.
season.
I can do
Honest to
it.
God, I mean, you say that, Chris. What would you rate? Because I can do a backflip on flat ground if I threw a shot and then backflipped and landed and tried to strike at the same time. I mean, it's not much of a trick shot for the bowling version, but
you like throw a shot and then do a backflip?
Throw it and then immediately backflip and try to like time it to strike and backflip and land and strike.
I think you should do the opposite. You should backflip and then throw the shot.
I think it would be cooler if you could
backflip, legs give out, gutter, fall over.
Well, you've seen guys do backflips like with weights in their hand, like dumbbells.
Yeah.
Guys,
If you could
I
do
can
it
only
with a
do
bowling,
a normal
But-
person back tuck. I don't need weights. I can only do
hear me
the
out
most
though.
generic backflip ever. But I'm good.
If you could do it with the ball,
But
That'd be
then I have a chance of like
auto 10.
I mean, you just like hold it at your chest and do a backflip.
But I feel like you could. The only way I could think of it, which might be humanly possible, is
For who? LeBron?
no. I'm like, so as you throw it, like your 1 foot's on the ground, your trail leg. If you
Like,
instead of getting
as
your
you
trail
release.
leg like sideways, you use that trail leg to then flip yourself over. So it's like, so you're kind of throwing and then going straight into the backflip. Correct, like that. I'm not sure if it's possible because I think the leg might get in the way of the bowling ball, but
Like that?
I feel like that's the only way that I would give it any sort of bonus, because I feel like if you just throw it and then do a backflip, like, cool, you can do a
Yeah,
backflip. Not
Yeah,
bowling.
but ain't nobody else gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? That's gotta count for something. Tommy
but
Jones
it
gonna do a
it
backflip.
didn't affect your
He might.
shot at all.
Where's our trick shot guy? You know, like how basketball has Jordan Kilgannon. We need like a bowling guy to do trick shots.
A bowling
Like
trick
just
shot
like that.
wizard.
Yeah, like the guy that
His
would
name
just
was
go
Andy
viral for
Garapapa.
doing.
I don't know. We need one.
I don't think we had a TikTok back in that day.
No,
If
definitely
we
not.
did, he would
I
be
feel like
famous.
yeah, there's such a strategy to it. 5 minutes. Like if you get really strategic or you do like what's a basic trick shot? Like the towel trick shot? You know, like the Norm Duke one?
Yeah.
That's not
Is that
basic.
like a
That's not basic.
it's not, but I'm saying like for time purposes, you can get a lot of those off. Like what's a trick shot, but like isn't overly hard to do, like between the legs.
2 balls, 2 hands, or 2 balls, 1 hand, I think would be like
I
a
think
simple enough trick shot that's still challenging to like to
Oh,
a viewer who might not do trick shots all the time. Like you shoot at a big 4 and you have the balls cross because you shoot them with 2 different balls and they hook and cross each other. Like that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Another
feel
one
like
where
the
you
1 ball or the 2 balls in 1 hand and you're making like the big 4, I feel like is probably the
Or like
genuine
your teammates stand on the approach and like throw through their legs or something.
yeah, something
have
like that.
some if you could like have a fan and pull them from the crowd, put them in a chair, throw it under the chair, stuff like that.
I'm just drills a fan's ankle. I'm going for a home run hitter, dude. I don't know even what that would be, but I'm putting like 7 chairs on the approach. I'm throwing 2 balls at the same time through those chairs, 1 with my big toe in someone's thumb hole. I'm getting wicked with it.
You want to talk about home runs? You break out the baseball bat. The baseball bat, you hit a bowling ball and strike like that.
That would hurt your hand so
Your
bad.
hands
That's
would
a
be
home run.
Murdering you.
That's a home run.
Ringing hands. That is. I just feel like you could really think of a lot of creative things, but man, they would be so hard to do within 5 minutes. You got to get so
yeah,
lucky.
like it's
They're
the
hard to
same
do
thing.
in
You take
general.
enough chances at it, and you might end up with nothing.
Did you guys have control of like the rack coming down and stuff? Could you get them to not have the rack come down? You know what I'm saying? Like
Probably.
I don't think it was an
15
issue.
balls. If I throw 15 bowling balls, try to keep them all on the lane, but I don't worry about timing the rack.
Yeah, I think
So
you
10 balls,
like
I
you
take
could have
off
asked for
1 foot at a
anything and they
time.
would have. You could have asked for anything and they would have done it. You could ask them to shut the rack off. You could have asked them to have the lights flicker in the building. You could have asked them for anything.
Could you imagine that being your trick shot?
But
10 balls, you get
1
1
pin a
at
piece.
time. That would be sick. That's not like
okay, so you go
would that count?
7 pin, 10
It's not
pin.
necessarily a
4
trick.
pin, 6 pin. That would be the wildest trick shot. Just going, just
The
Like,
4
how would
pin,
you
6
take a
pin
4-6
back to
out of
back
it?
would be insane.
doing it once would be insane. Doing it back
Oh,
to
if you
back
set
would
the
be
big 4
wild.
and you like boom, 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 boom.
No,
Or you're
no,
saying on a
Kevin.
full rack.
On a
On
full rack.
How do you get a 4 and a 6 out of the full rack? You go
I've
through
seen
Done
the.
it before. No,
You just take them
But if you
straight
go-
back.
Yo, Dory.
Take
So
it straight back.
we did an event. We did an event in Boston where we did trick shots, but then another part of it was a game, and there was like 5 of us on a team, and you had to get every count. And we obviously everyone gets stuck on 2. Like no one can get 2. Like
Right.
and it's on full rack, so you have to get 2. and our team finally gets to having to get 2. Doherty's like, I got this. Goes up, boom, gets 2. Picks the 610 off immediately, first try, like without a doubt.
How do
like,
you
Did you do
that?
it from right or left?
You have to go straight up the
like no, he did it from left, like shooting like a 10 pin. But he's like,
yeah, you can do it from left, but you can't do it from
basically
way
like just kind of throws like a baby cutter and gets he just literally
barely missed the 3-pin out of the 3.
Barely missed the 3-pin, took the 610 dead back. I mean, first try, like aced it. It was insane. Like he literally, he's like, "I got this, guys." I was like, "All right, bro." Like, cool.
In the chat, real quick, like, throw me your craziest trick shot because I want to know what people have seen.
I'm looking now. Some people are kind of talking about what they would do.
But the 610 off a full rack. So in college, we played the game race to 10. It would be girls team versus guys team to end practice pretty much every day. And we would just use 2 would be the wild card number. So we would skip over 2. You'd just go 1 and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah. 2 is
because 2, like you could spend a half hour getting 2. It's not really it's a little bit of a skill thing, but also like you got to get a little lucky that the rack is nice, that the pin doesn't spin off the 10
or bounce out of the back
or bounce out the back. And
yeah, he did that. And I was like, wow, that's the most impressive thing I've ever seen in my life. And then he would have to do it again on the other side.
So Matt Farber, one time I played horse against him at the EBI training facility lanes that they had, and he threw I tried to throw a shot with my eyes closed, and I've never done that, and I got scared and immediately threw in the gutter, and he went up there and threw the normalest shot ever and got 9. And I was like, why are you so good at that? And he said that at McKendree, they would practice bowling with their eyes closed to get the feel of the approach and stuff.
They did. Yeah, they would do it all the time.
Like, what do you rate something like that? Like, I feel like that's really hard to do.
Very.
Because it's like the scare factor of doing that. Like, but I feel like people wouldn't respect that enough. They wouldn't respect that trick shot enough.
Definitely not. I feel like if you got up there, close your eyes, and it was 10 back, the judge would be like, 5.
Yeah, but that adds to your total if you do like a bunch of trick shots that are like decent like that.
At Wichita, they got these like sensory deprivation glasses. So it's like a goggle, but like it looks like sunglasses, but it's goggle, and it blinks black. So like it'll show you whatever you're looking at.
Sounds like a panic attack happening to me.
It'll show you what you're looking at, and then it'll cover it up, and it'll like go. It's like basically shows you, and then like takes it away and you can set it on. Apparently, baseball players use it, but you can set it on different levels of like, okay, the interval time is 0.01 seconds, where it's basically just like showing me what I'm looking at without any. And then like you slowly go more and more where like, okay, now it only shows me every half second. So it's like every other step I take, it shows me what I'm looking at. And then eventually get to the point where you can throw one with your eyes closed.
Yeah, but see, like a baseball pitcher or like shooting a 3-pointer, like a jumper or something like off the pass shot. Those aren't like hard to do. They're not scary to try. Bowling with your eyes closed, you could like walk onto the wrong approach, trip, fall, face plant, or do something like it's just.
Imagine being a batter in a baseball game and taking it with your eyes closed.
Well, that just doesn't make sense at all. That would be so terrifying. People would just lob it in there, and you would just think it's coming at you 100 miles an hour.
That Mr. Miyagi.
What's the Mr. Miyagi shot?
No, the throwing a shot with your eyes closed.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Honestly, I would judge that fairly high because that's hard. I've seen a lot of people like not even get it onto the like not the physical lane itself, but not even within the gutters outside of.
I bowled a game blindfolded and I hit like a shot like 30.
Maybe. Yeah, like they'll get like 3 feet from the foul line because they're scared to go over the foul line, and then they'll throw it like on a lane either side of them. I feel like that's way more common than getting it on the lane that you're actually on.
Yeah. I don't remember who it was or when it was, but I know that one time we were doing trick shots at a bowling alley late at night, and we were doing like eyes closed, and someone did that. They like walked way left, and they threw it onto like the top of the gutter cap, and it bounced way off, and it was like, okay, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Striking with a bowling pin would be a good one. That one's hard. Striking with a bowling pin.
Read it again.
Yeah.
I know that one. I know, but I was because that's hard. I feel like the pin
Throwing
would
a
just
pin
fly
at
off
bowling
of it.
balls and hoping the balls just roll off the deck.
Can you imagine? That'd be great.
I just feel like the
wild.
balls wouldn't move at all. Like they wouldn't move even a little bit.
I feel like, I mean, like if they're like resting on a thumb hole, I feel like you could probably knock one off, but you would like.
I don't think you're knocking
You could
10
knock
off.
one.
No,
one.
but could you imagine how long it would take for all the bowling balls? Like if somehow you would get like
just like they're
it would just like one
slowly,
like, go into the other one, and then it would kind of roll into the other one.
This would be crazy.
I would just go for the 10 ball.
Oh my
See, that's the thing. Stuff like this comes into play. You're breaking a deck like
This is violent.
taking off the top. Yeah, this is
Anthony
not ending
Simonson
well.
would be very upset with you.
Yeah.
This is
Breaking his machines.
This is not ending well. Stuff like this, at all. I don't know.
I think it'd be
There's so
sick
many
doing
things.
one of the Wii challenges, like setting up 100 pins and knocking them all over.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be that hard. That's the thing.
I'm
For
talking
one-
not on the lane. Don't use the lane. Just like set up 100 pins in a
Like,
parking
like
lot.
how they have it, not like because on a lane it's not hard. You hit the front one, they all just gonna domino into each other.
Did anyone say, okay, hold on, we're shutting down the show. We're all going to the racetrack, and we're doing my trick shot on the racetrack.
We're throwing bowling balls on the racetrack.
Like, Chris, it's
Someone
your
have
turn.
a
You're like,
qualified
great,
moving
follow
camera
me.
that they can bring with them.
Like, oh, I'm up. We're all going to turn 3. I got my trick shot set up out there. Gave myself a thumbs up.
That'd
Dude, I
be
want
so fun. How do you do
Why
it? Are
is-
you using your phone?
No, you gotta have the Mac. Do you have a
I
Mac?
have
I'm
a
on a
Mac.
Mac.
I'm on a Mac.
I am not on a Mac, but
It's got to be a setting. I like how we always just get this. Our
It turns
ADHD
into this
kicks
every
in.
time. Every time I'm on my
Guys, thumbs up in the chat because we want thumbs up and it's not working.
thumbs up.
Please. I just feel like there's endless possibilities to bowling trick shots because you can use it as like targeting, and you can just put like stuff on the lane, and it makes it look like, you know, when you put something on the lane, it's actually not that hard a trick shot, but it's just the visual of seeing like you going under you know, a chair, but it's like you're hitting like a 9-board radius, you know. Yeah, the trick
Oh,
shots at
that's
the skip
hard
park
for
is
us,
cool.
Kevin.
Huh? I'm
That's
not
hard
saying
for
that
some.
it's easy for me. I'm just saying, like, I think in general, if you just take out, okay, I got to throw under the chair, it's like I'm really just hitting 15 at the arrows.
Use a pool ball? That would be crazy.
That would also, that's actually kind of a good idea. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, maybe you get someone in the
Yanking that
crowd
pool
and you like throw their shoe or something. What? I got it. You go get some of those giant tires from NASCAR and you use those, implement those some way, somehow.
I get it. You put 10 people on
Bounce
the
it
lane.
off of it.
You put 10 people on the lane and you
Like
use
the
it.
football celebration.
And you run
throw
full
it
sprint at them and tackle all of them?
And we use a NASCAR as a bowling ball.
And use
Oh
the
my
NASCAR
God, this
tire.
is getting, guys, this is getting rough quick. All right.
Yeah.
Well, with all the trick shot stuff, we
Who's
can
winning?
go on
Is it
for hours for this.
Tommy, Sam, and Sean.
Oh yeah. Well, who's winning? We never said who's winning the trick shot. You're right. Who's your
Give
pick
me
for the
Tommy.
trick shot challenge? I'm going Tommy.
My
I gotta
completely
go Tommy.
unbiased opinion, with also already knowing the results, I am picking Tommy as well.
It's just like I don't even know why. Just Tommy. I just feel like
He's so
he would
good
do
at
some
that
stuff.
stuff.
He's a wizard.
Yeah,
he's
he's
just
a
good at that type of stuff.
he's an
Like,
athlete. He probably thinks outside the box. He's gonna do some stuff that some other guys aren't gonna think to do.
We all
He's
know
gonna
about
knock him off the
Tommy
ball.
more so than we're allowed to say on the internet, and that is why we are picking Tommy.
Yes, exactly.
Correct.
Tommy for sure for your pick.
I
So-
feel like Sean Reed's going to be pretty good though. I don't know about Sam. Because I feel like our generation we don't really do that many trick shots. Like pro-ams, like doing trick shots and stuff, is not really that common anymore. Occasionally, we'll do like
I do one every pro-am. I
But I mean,
bid for every pro-am, and I always throw two balls.
Yeah, but for like a split or something like that. But it's like other than that, like I feel like that's kind of where we've gotten to a spot. Like I just don't think there's a lot of bowling alleys that are going to be like, oh yeah, you guys can set up trick shots and like do whatever you want.
Yeah,
And
because you
so
could
it's-
break a deck light or something.
Yeah, so I think it's one of those things. I feel like our generation probably is not going to be nearly as good. But I can-
Also,
I'm
I
freestyling
didn't-
in bowling 300. Apparently, I would do that.
I
Easy.
didn't know Sam was only 32 years old.
Really? He said
Yeah,
owner.
I bowled against him in Thailand at the Youth World Championships.
Damn.
No.
Okay, so the format with all those three, Darren, can you tell us the format of like how does the point system work? Because we get down to it, what company is going to win the skill showdown? How does this work? Winner of the strike derby, the make that spare, and the trick shot competition.
I gotta think really hard because I don't actually remember how
Pack, you got it?
how the points.
I got it.
I know
Pack's
first
got
gets
it.
25.
It's 25, 15, and 10.
For points for each
So
event.
first place gets 25, second place gets 15, third place gets 10.
Okay, so we've got 2 Brunswick guys here and 2 Storm guys here.
And no motive guys.
No motive guys
losing,
here.
they're finishing last.
But unbiased to our companies, because that's what the pre-shows are all about. What company are we winning? Going off of the guys we got, Pack, Bill, and Tommy for Brunswick. We got Troop, Darren, and Rash for Storm, and EJ, Smallwood, and Cooley for Motive. Who you guys picking for the skills showdown?
I think the Brunswick guys.
On the outside looking in, unbiased, I would also pick the Brunswick guys.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I literally don't know any of the results. Like just from looking at it, I would probably pick the Brunswick guys. Just
you guys also picked 2 Brunswick people to
that's
win
what I'm saying.
events.
I've also picked 2 of them to win the events. I just don't
because I could see you striking the most. I could see Bill, and I can honestly see you guys sweeping.
I just don't.
I'm gonna be honest.
I just don't think any of them are going to get third, like ever. So I feel like you're going to probably win at least one, and I don't think you're going to get third at all. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like,
I mean,
but you win too. You win regardless.
yeah, exactly.
the thing about this is like the way these challenges work. You can't just be like, oh, EJ's the best bowler on the planet, so he's obviously going to win the strikes. That doesn't really apply. Like some of these things don't really apply. The spares that you're shooting,
It's too short of a format.
The skills challenge, the strike, like the trick shots is like it. None of that really applies. You know,
anyone can win any of these events.
That's what I'm saying. So like it's just up in the air.
We all get 5 shots per every event, basically. So I mean, the strike guys get 5 shots. The spare guys shot at 5 spares. It's not like it's like, yes, it would be if it was a race to 60 strikes.
Yeah,
it probably would be something like that. And if it was a race to first one to make 10 different whack spares, probably would be a little bit more, not just like, hey, shoot these 5, whatever happens, happens.
Right. Mm-hmm. Pack, do you want to let him know why it's pre-recorded? I feel like there's always moving.
Yeah, there's a couple people typing in asking why it was pre-recorded. The reason it's pre-recorded, there's a couple different things because we can't be on FS1 the same weekend as race weekend. That doesn't really work out in our favor because of the time slots and everything like that. So a lot of it does have to do with TV in general. And then on top of that, stuff like the trick shots and all of that, it's a lot harder to record. We could have done it regardless. However, with not knowing what's going to happen in terms of all that stuff, it's much easier to have it pre-recorded, preset. But for the most part, it is TV slots and availability that we have to do it. So you're not going to ask the NASCAR guys on Sunday to do this during their race.
Too many moving parts of like, yeah, who's all going to be there and stuff.
Yeah, the celebrity ones, I feel like the celebrity special event ones, I feel like they're always pre-recorded because of that.
Yeah,
because you're just like getting all those people from those areas together at one place at one time. You just kind of have to do it when they can do it and not worry about the actual TV slot itself.
Right.
Well, I feel like also with like the trick shot thing, like we were talking about getting things set up. I feel like if we were trying to get all that stuff set up in one TV break, that could be tough. And then it's like
you better be ready.
Well, yeah, but then it gets like, okay, well, he's done. Now the next person, they need to set their stuff up. And I feel like you would have so much dead time, like that it wouldn't be enjoyable. Like it's either, oh, this should be live, and I'm upset that it's not live, but it may very well be the same person that watches it, and then there's 7 minutes of the bowling being on TV, but not anything is happening because there's it's stuff getting set up, and they're like, oh, well, why couldn't they cut this out? So it feels like it's kind of one of those no-win type of deals, but I think this 100% definitely is going to be way better recorded than than not. And
Agreed.
it's like the only event that I would ever say that.
Well, yeah, the way you have to film it is different. So everyone says Brunswick, huh?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely, I would think so.
Everybody says Brunswick. Well, is there anything
How much would it take for me to pay you guys to come out and do something like this in Wichita?
I would love to do something like this because we have all the time in the world to try to film trick shots like this.
Yeah, just like a skills challenge between the boys.
I'm so down. I mean, if I'm doing like my friendship rate, it's probably like 36,000 for the week or something.
Oh, really? That's cheap. I thought it was 36,000 per day.
I know, dude. That's because you're my dog. I would love to do something like that. If you guys could pick your own team, who would you be in what position? Can we all just say we're the trick shots? We'll be the 4 trick shot guys. Who are you picking to strike with you, and who are you picking to do the spares with you? Anyone in the history of the bowling game, not just currently on tour. It could be.
I'm not gonna lie. I was like a little kid in a candy shop. It might be Bill and Tommy.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It might be the same people.
I was like, Tommy would be on my team. It'd be Chris Barnes too. Like I think I'd like Chris Barnes just because, like, I feel like him and Tommy on a team. I feel like the dynamic would just be.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think it would be because I think about
Tommy
like they
told me,
titles.
and I need to find it. He said him and Chris Barnes back in the day did a flying eagle during one of the TV shows, but they had someone off to the side of the lanes catch the flying eagle in a trash can.
No, that was the show I was talking about where they put the hole in the lane. He was doing a flying eagle, but Tommy was catching the flying eagle pin in a trash can, and Chris was throwing the shot, and it was on the late night show. That's what
I would love to see that again. That's
I doubt. I think he's gonna make us catch the pin.
Find the clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that'd be sick. And he's like, do you know how fast that pin's coming at you? You missed that thing, you take it to the forehead, that's a concussion.
Not to the forehead, but if you take it to the shin, that's gonna hurt. That thing's gonna sting.
You take it to the forehead, you might get knocked out.
I mean, yeah, Bill and Tommy is a great choice. I mean, I would feel like if you do a challenge like this, we'd all have to do the same challenges. We all do the strike, we all do the spare, we all do the trick. Like, who are you picking then? Because if you're always doing the trick, like I would love to see Tommy Jones attempt trick shots. He might be my pick too, honestly, for the trick shots portion.
I would actually I'll swap out Parker for like Barnes maybe. I would like to probably just sit and watch.
Yeah.
Let me.
So you don't even want to be the man.
Can be the man.
We are the team captains.
You could be the coach. You could tell him the strategy. Who's the third? I'm
a big Parker guy. It'd probably be Barnes, Tommy, and Parker.
That's
Parker would shoot the spares. Tommy would strike, and Barnes would do the trick shots.
Yeah,
this is tough.
That is tough. I got to throw Jason Couch in there as one of my guys because he was my favorite bowler growing up. So I got to throw him in there. Probably striking because that guy struck. And I know that he got the flying eagle thrown at him against Chris Barnes. Didn't he pick it up, though, too, or he missed it? Like the infamous clip. The PBA just posted the other day on their Instagram. Go check it out on Instagram. But Jason Couch is in there for me. Tommy's going to be in there. I don't know who my third is.
Dude, Norm would be a wild trick shot one.
I've heard some crazy stories about.
Can we take the same guy for more than one?
Who are you picking? Just one guy to do all the challenges?
No. I want to pick Norm for the spares and the trick shot.
And the trick shots?
That's a good one. Yeah.
I've heard some stories about Norm back in the day. He would pop bowl after the high roller, and he would bowl people with the towel, and he would sandbag. And I heard that he made like a fortune one night doing it with a towel. Bowling against people. He said if they shot 2-0, he'd shoot 210. If they shot 240, he'd shoot 250. If they shot 180, he'd shoot 190. Like he was just bagging people all night because they'd be like, he's barely beating these guys. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. That is so wild. Like how often do you practice stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
So I got Norm for those two events and
just Norm for all of them, honestly.
Give me Belmo for the strikes.
Yeah, so I was gonna say Belmo for the strikes too. Belmo, TJ,
El Capitan,
and Jason Couch. We can all figure it out from there. Okay, another trick shot. Goodness.
All right, so for the strikes, man, that's tough. Like Belmo, I feel like it's kind of an obvious one, but
he would be good for trick shots. He's done 2 with Dude Perfect.
but since it's like the format that it is, give me Tommy, because I feel like he's just when he needs him, he gets them. For trick shots, I don't know for trick shots. I feel like
BV.
No, give me Oscar Palermo for trick shots.
Yo,
you could just throw it.
prime.
I don't know. We have a new Oscar Palermo though. Kevin McCune said he can throw it to the masking unit.
Yeah, but like
that during the league. He's like, you guys want me to just throw it to the pin?
That one's an iconic clip. But if you follow Oscar on Instagram, he is a trick shot.
He does. He always is doing trick shots. You're right.
Like he is a trick shot. You're
right.
right.
It is Oscar.
A trick shot.
Is he the greatest trick shotter of all time?
He might be.
No,
I feel like he might be our Jordan Kilgannon. Is that how you say his last name?
Kilgannon.
Yeah, I don't know how you say it, but yeah. So Oscar for that, and yeah, I would take Norm for spares, but if Norm can't do it, injury maybe reserve. Give me Don Barrett for spares.
Ooh, Don Barrett on the spare shooter.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
I like that. I just feel
Kevin,
like
if you had to pick a current team only,
we
only got about 3 or 4 minutes left. So if you had to pick a current team
of people that are bowling on tour now, Belmo for strikes. I'm still going Tommy Jones trick shots, and I'm going Mitch Hoope spares.
wow,
shooter.
Hey.
It should be Jesper because he was the spare shooting leader last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, Simon.
I'm going Mitch.
It was actually Simon and Nathan Bohr.
Yeah.
Oh, Simon.
And Nathan
like
Bohr.
Simon is the trickiest bowler on the planet Earth, but does he have trick shots in him? I'm going Belmo, TJ, Mitch. And then TJ's just gonna roast Mitch the whole time, like he always does, and Mitch is gonna be upset about it. And he's gonna miss all the spares, and then my team's gonna fall apart before we even get started.
Team chemistry, love.
And then I'm gonna have to call in a reserve.
Mitch is gonna be like, I love Tommy, but he just makes fun of me so much for my long hair.
Just jealous.
All right, who's the current day picks for you guys?
Quick and easy. I'm taking Simon for all 3.
I mean,
A1 team chemistry.
I mean, that's a great answer. It's a great answer, honestly. I can't even stunt on that one.
I would say
Chris?
Belmo for strikes. Give me still probably Tommy for trick shots, and I'll stick with Dom for the spares since he was my backup. Now he's moved into the starting lineup.
All right.
I'm going Belmo for strikes. Actually, I think I'm going to go Kyle Troop for strikes. I feel like he wins all of the events that are like this.
He is made for TV. Literally.
Like he is literally made for the TV. Like the strike derby he wins. The like All-Star or whatever last year with the NASCAR team he wins.
Even the Tour Finals is kind of made for TV.
Tour Finals is made for TV. He's won that
twice, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he is made for the short format, all you can get strike at once event. So I'm giving Kyle Troop the strikes. For the spares, I'll probably go Mitch.
It's a good spare shooter.
Firm believer in the hair. And then I think for the trick shot, I feel like you pick any of the guys like Barnes or Tommy. I'll pick Tommy because I just like watching Tommy. But I'll pick Barnes because I think Barnes has got some ones in there just that he's had like over the years. Like if current highlight tape, Barnes has clearly got it.
Yeah,
I'm refilling my my trick shot. I'm gonna go curveball here. I'm picking my brother.
Mikey?
Yeah.
He's not on tour though. So does that count?
He does
celebrity
have a card,
shot.
though.
He's a celebrity shot.
Still a PBA member.
Yeah. Okay.
Has his card. Is he showing up for the Masters this year?
No.
What's his go-to trick shot?
I keep finding that people. I told people they could stay at the house without me remembering. So
you keep adding people to this house. We're gonna be all
sleeping in this closet.
That's amazing.
And I'm not even joking.
What's the show? It's at 5:45 p.m.
Show is at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And Frank coming in clutch. Who needs spares when you can throw 8-baggers? That's right.
Thank you.
The thing right here.
Teammate baggers.
That is, teammate baggers is the way to go this year.
Yeah, except when you split 3 times a game because then you still shoot like 2.
I am aware. I'm very aware.
I became aware in Delaware.
Well,
all right, guys. Well, we got the show. FS1, tune in. PBA Skills Showdown, 6 p.m., which is 5 minutes from now. Head on over to FS1 and you can catch what actually happens and not just our predictions.
Let's go, Team Brunswick. Come on. Come on, Pack. Go strike. Get to the bowling alley, dude.
Strike.
I
gotta go bowl.
Make those spares.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We're doing another pre-show for the second event. What is the next? I don't even know what the second event is. Yeah, 3 pre-shows, 3
Legend versus the Rising Star.
The Legacy Cup.
The Legacy Cup.
The Legacy Cup, and then the NASCAR Invitational. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the pre-show of the Legacy Cup. Other than that, go tune in and watch some trick shots and some strikes and some spares.
Your boy's about to go practice so I can make my spares.
Yeah, I'm also going to go practice so I